My video for May the 24th, 2020 is video number 3454. The title is Another Predicted Date of Change Passes into History. Yes, I was taken in by the claims that real change would happen in 2011. 2012 at the latest. That was why I thought Obama was the man. Wrong. He was even worse than his predecessors, which wasn't easy since the Bushes and Clintons were obvious deep state stooges. Of course, in 2020, others have taken center stage, like Bill Gates, for example, spouting an insane agenda of mass vaccination against a virus. The easily duped public swallows the bullshit, hook, line, and sinker. Most cannot even smell the stench. The masks may as well be over the eyes, seeing how our brains have been turned off. The big date, May 22nd, is now history. If the big change predicted did happen, its effects bypassed me. I didn't even feel the ripples. There was certainly no detectable wave of change that I was able to discern. Of course, I am exposed to the mixed message of blessing, the mixed message blessing of internet news, where so much contradictory information and predictions are the rule, not the exception. In my opinion, giving dates will always lead to varying degrees of disappointment. Yes, suicides are now a leading cause of death in California. The hopium is not working for many. Is truth being trumped again? Oh, I watched, I don't remember exactly how long the video was, a little less than an hour, but most of an hour, of this lady uh, giving her predictions made, I don't know, a few days before uh, the 22nd. And 22nd was the day. It was when Trump was going to announce and start rolling into action major changes, like the churches are going to open up again. I think that was one of the predictions. Well, I'm going to check that out this weekend. It's Saturday now as I'm recording this, um, but of course this will be my video for Sunday, right? Is it the 24th is a Sunday? I believe so. Yeah. Uh, in any case, uh, maybe the meetings will start opening back up, but again, it's one of those I'll believe it when I see it things. I've heard promises all my life that have come and gone and left me disappointed. And as I said, suicides, one of the articles that came across my path in the last little while, said suicide is now the leading cause of death in California. I wonder why. I mean, I'm sure it's in places where the lockdown is most aggressive. I'm surprised New York City isn't also on that list. I don't know if I'll be able to record my video with my friend tomorrow on Sunday. We tried to record a video here a couple days ago now, and we're not successful. I mean, we just could not. The internet speed was just too slow, and there was all sorts of warning messages coming up. So anyway, folks, we have to deal with what is actually happening. We have to deal with the here and now, whether we like it or not. You know, the it was funny because I go for a walk now twice a day, and last evening, as I was going out to the apartment, I saw one of my friends that lives in the apartment that has been a really nice guy. And I went up and I shook his hand and told him how glad I was to see him. And then another friend came up to me and I put my hand out to shake it. And he rejected my handshake and says, just put your elbow against mine. And I walk away uh, just feeling like, I'm on a planet of the insane. These are people that I've rubbed elbows with. And that's just an expression. I didn't mean it to be actually rubbing elbows, but he stuck his elbow out for me to put my elbow against his elbow, because we shouldn't touch our hands to each other. And certainly we shouldn't touch our own face. I mean, that's terrible. I touch my face all the time. And uh, there's so much disinformation, so much hype, so many stories being spread that bring us promises of hope that real change is happening. As I said, I thought Obama would do it. Of course, it didn't take me long to realize that he was just another deep state stooge, as I said in the blurb. Didn't I say that in the blurb? Yeah, I did. uh, I chuckle, but things are moving so fast and yet not going anywhere at all. That's what it seems like anyway. But really, it's almost like it's in slow motion, not speeded up. It's like everything has slowed down. And with this virus scare and shut in and stuff like that, people are having a chance, if they take it or not, to become introspective and to go within. Of course, some are drugging up to try to black out the insanity that's going on in their heads, whether it's through drugs or alcohol or whatever. And I suppose many people are watching the boob tube more. I don't know that for a fact. I know I'm watching a little bit of TV now, which I didn't do for a long time. But I do like forensic files, but I also like some of the old sitcoms and stuff like that, like MASH. And Andy Griffith, Don Knotts, the role he plays is so stupid. And Barney Fife, of course. Anyway, folks, the dates that have been predicted have come and gone. The years of change have come and gone. And as I see it, humanity is worse off than ever before. Well, people say, well, that's the way it's supposed to be. This is the great tribulation that precedes the big awakening. Well, I've been hearing that, and I've probably preached it myself, that there has to be some exposure of the darkness and the deviance and demon activity. There has to be exposure of that before there can actually be an awakening. Well, there's certainly more and more people aware, thanks to the internet and people turning off the boob tube and not paying attention, especially to the news, because the news is where our liars are unleashed on us and pull us into their scams and disinformation campaigns. It's crazy. Does anybody else see it? Am I the only one that recognizes the insanity of the situation in which we are living? I don't know the answer to that. I expect that many are waking up, but then again, I get evidence, like I said about the man with the elbow instead of handshake, that people are still so asleep, and don't seem to be aware that something is wrong. We do have to see that something is wrong, don't we? Before we can actually move into a higher consciousness and an awakening of sorts, where we first get pissed off and then we become elated because change becomes real instead of just promised. I don't know. We'll see how things play out. That's the best we can do. That's the best I can do anyway. I'm certainly not going to make any stupid predictions. Thanks for listening, and namaste.